Hello you beautiful people, welcome back to the Hack Plays video. Today we are going to be talking about training. So, as most of you know, we have actually done a ton of training right now on this account. So, if you want to watch every single character get trained, and, a beginner's guide to each character and how I train them right at the start, there is a library you can go check, and see. But I want to talk about saving Blue Lock, and I'm not going to actually do a training. What I'm going to do is explaining to you the fundamentals of how to get your best teams. So you don't particularly need me. I mean, by all means, come. I love the views. I love that you guys are watching. But I want to try and educate you in a way that you're going to be able to go off and do this without having to wait for my videos to come out. So, when you're going to save Blue Lock, you're going to want to select your first character and you're going to want to train them. Now, each character is going to have a unique ability and some unique stats that you want to work on. Let's just highlight Rin, for example, right? So with Rin, we know that we want to, if we were to actually hold and open him up, we can see that he sort of trains for kicking power, intelligence, and when you look at his multipliers, you can see he's got a 13% boost to intelligence, 10% to kicking power, and 10% to technical. They're probably the stats you want to be training him in. Now, if you want further reinforcement into why that's the case, you can actually come into the training events, and then down here you can see that he's got two skills, right? Flash. So so what does it? Eliminate shot success rate, so that's shot power, and what it means is temporarily you'll just get a boost. And the other one is dominate, which is actually the big skill that we want to be working on here. Now, if Rin has the highest intelligence in the team, he's going to give a huge match bonus to everybody for a short period of time. So what you want to do is you want to try and get this boost to stats. So in order to train Rin, we're going to want to work on his shooting because he's a striker. So we want big shooting, but we want to be able to use this dominate skill as well. So we want to make sure he has the highest intelligence. So in my case, when I went into and started training my Rin, and I'll just jump into here and we'll open up my Rin. So you can see within my Rin that we have boosted intelligence up to 750, 7,500 even. So that's a pretty respectable number. Realistically, I want that closer to that US sort of number, so that's about 10,000. But that's a really respectable Rin to begin with. And moving down the line, that's what I'm going to be training for. I'm going to be training for kicking power, as you can see, and intelligence. And if I can get some technical in there, fantastic. But that is how I would have trained my Rin. Now, if you want to see the team I used to train this Rin, I will quickly show you that too. I would have to come out of this menu. Give me 1 second. And if we just do, we're in the wrong menu. Train players, train player list, and then we go into Rin. So when I trained him, I did train him with this team. The reason I use this team is because, so this is my standard support, just card collection. That's what I always use. And then on top of that, I've used Nagi because Nagi just gives a really good array of like technical boosts and other things, and his cards are fantastic because I want to be using this card here. This card was really useful since it does boost intelligence. It also boosts shooting power, so a bit of love there from that card. Barrow is just all about kicking power, so 100% wanted Barrow in the team. Same with Kunigami for that kicking power boost. You can see we're getting the 18% boost from him. And then Isagi actually gives the intelligence boost. I was going to go with Nico here, because Nico also does, but then I realized Nico doesn't do an intelligence boost. I thought he did, but he doesn't seem to do it. So I did go with Bashira, and I do believe he just has, his card is just fantastic. Plus I have him to 65, so I was able to use the mental image training here, which is why I did use him. If you don't have him to 65, that's perfectly fine. You can use someone else. Maybe Free Asagi is actually the way forward with this one. I didn't use Free Asagi. I probably should have used Free Asagi, right? Grand scheme of things, maybe should use Free Asagi, because he is a very good card. But yeah, and then if you want an idea also of how to train certain people, you can always come into the hot player section. You got to remember, these guys have hit the biggest numbers. The reason they've hit the biggest numbers isn't because they're the biggest whales. It's actually because they just know what they're doing. For example, let's go into Zephyr, see how he's trained his Rin. We can click and then go to team trained, and again you can see he's used Zantetsu, he's used Bashira, he's used Ryo, he's used Nagi, and he's used Mitoma. Okay, in his case, he's actually got a bunch of characters over 65, which means he's got access to all those black cards, which is great for him, 100%. But this can be done without that happening. So, for example, let's just go to, I don't know, someone a bit further down. Say this guy. Okay, bad example. He's also got a couple of 65s. I'm sure there's going to be someone that doesn't have a bunch of 65s. Okay, typically you can find them. I promise you. I should have pre-planned this. Um, Everyone I click on is 65s. But listen, you can do it with L50s. It's just harder. When you have access to certain black cards, of course it becomes a little bit easier. But yeah, you can easily hit that 37, 38k mark without it. And yeah, just come in, look for the character that you want to train. Look at this guy, 55, 50, 50, 99 using the free Asagi and a support card. This is absolutely attainable, and he's done it with an SR card as well here. He clearly doesn't even have all three SSRs. This is how plausible it is, and that he's hit a 41k Megaru. So it's very, very plausible, and it's doable. So when you go into Blue Lock, as I said, you want to go into training and you want to pick a character. Let's say we're going to pick, I don't know, Barrow. He's someone that's everyone likes to train. We know that Barrow likes to do shooting power, so we're going to go into his details and we're going to just confirm. So he's a technical and shooting power guy. If we actually go into training events and scroll right the way down, we can actually have a look at some of his skills. So Royal Shot Range, what does that do? When activated, boost shot accuracy and eliminate shots thing. Okay, cool, that's fine. So it just eliminates shot power. It might be worth just having a look and seeing if there's any other skills that you kind of want with him. For example, Shotmaster, that's perfectly fine as well. Just not great. So there is no major stats that we really need in order for any of these skills to work, which means we could just get ridiculous amounts of kicking power. And in order to do that, we could actually select Barrow here, hit next, and then we'll build a team. So I'll just go into a fresh one. We can have a look at who is going to be the best for this. So, I mean, Nagi is probably pretty solid. I know he doesn't have any shooting ups, but if you look at his card, he does have this card here, which does boost shooting. So I would probably use Nagi, but I would use Nagi if you've got him level 65. If you don't have him 65 and he doesn't have this card, that Nagi is probably useless to you. I probably don't need Bachira here, although for the technical boost, again, remember, he needs to also be boosted in technical, so technical and shooting power is what we need. For that reason, both of these are actually very valid picks. But if you are going shot power only, again, we can jump in, there we go, kick power. Again, it's not a percentage, it's only flat, so maybe we don't want him. Although he does have the right card, so, okay, let's go with Isagi, because he has the right card for it. I think Kunigami is absolutely a fantastic card because it is all about kicking power. Kunigami is going to be absolutely fine, and he's got the right card as well. So we will go Kunigami for sure. I think Raichi might not have it, so maybe not Raichi. Chigiri definitely doesn't. I really don't like training with Chigiri. I don't think he's good. If you have Rin is fantastic for it. Especially if you have him to 65. He's even better at 65. So Rin would be a fantastic pickup. Again, he's only really a good pickup for Barrow. As I said, he would have been good, but we don't really have, most people wouldn't have him to 65. That's understandable. What we're looking for is the training card, and we're looking for. We've just clicked on Santetsu really quickly. I don't know how we're double clicking here. So yeah, there we go. We've actually picked 3 or 4, and then I would probably actually go Megaru. I would go Bashira here. I know you guys may not have him to 65, and that's perfectly fine. But if you don't have him to 65, he's still really good because his technical boost is so high. I would just bring him in just for the technical boost. And then as a support, you can bring along, I don't know, anyone that really does. So it wouldn't be Rio. I would probably bring along Nagi, actually. Because if you don't bring him along in your team, you could bring him along here. He'll give you technical boost. He'll also give you this card here, which is fantastic. So I would probably bring along Nagi, and that would be my sort of shooting comp. And then for special cards, again, you're looking for, I have every SSR. So, I have all 8 SSRs in the game right now, and I'll probably pick up all the SSRs as they come out. But, this is a fantastic one to boost his shooting power. If you can level this up, this is just a great card in general, especially if you get it to like 65 or 100. Oh, at 100, this is a ridiculous card. But Anri is always fantastic. This is always just a good card. I mean, it's free, so why wouldn't you have this at 100? And then this is a great card, especially if you can 65 it. At 65, this card becomes even better. Gargomaru is an amazing card as well. Like, this is another one that you could just have. This is going to be quite unsung. This is a great card, but probably a little lower. This will say there's a number of cards, and if you have to use SSRs, I would just look at what's good for shooting power. Probably something like this. or look specifically for the gold card that you need. It's important to note which gold card you need. Um, but yeah, that's how I would be training. So you could just pick any character. I think the only character I'm missing from my library of training right now is Gagamaru, because I've only just unlocked him recently. So I will make a video on Gagamaru today. You will see a training video for Gagamaru. Um, and and then that's it. You could actually go into my library and have a look at how I've trained. I am sort of redoing that entire library now. As you guys know, my team has dramatically upscaled. If you've been watching the videos and been watching them daily, you'll know that we've gone from like 25Ks to 37Ks, and hopefully we're going to upscale that up to the 40 plus Ks very shortly. So as I optimize those teams and change them around, and as new cards come out, it's really important to note that new cards are coming out. So unlike the Japanese version, we are getting cards considerably faster. For example, Rin actually comes out of rotation on the 17th. That doesn't mean that we're not getting a new card till the 17th. We are actually probably getting it a little sooner than 2 weeks, because these come out of rotation on the 10th, which is what, it's in 6 days, right? So both of these banners come out of rotation in in literally 6 days. But that doesn't mean that a banner can't come out before then. So we are going to get new support cards, and the support card we are going to get is actually one for Rin, and it's pretty game changing. It's a very good support. Sorry, it's a very good support card. It's something that you want to be saving your gems for, because you're going to want to pull copies for it. So, keep that in mind. And we definitely have new characters coming out before the 17th or on the 17th. So be, I guess, careful with your gems, save them, and then really think about which characters you want to try and max down the line. Right now, I'm going to be real with you. I would pull a single copy of most characters and not more, until we get to that OP mark, until we start finding the cards like Shido, until we start finding the cards, in that sort of category that are like meta changing. So yeah, I hope this video helps. It really just was like a coming together of just information, just trying to update what we previously had, because I think a week ago we released the first one where we did training. I was relatively clueless because I'd only just picked the game up, and I just thought hopefully this will address some of the newer issues that people may be facing, and together we're gonna all hit that 40k mark very, very soon on each character. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.